Imagine walking outside, picking fresh, healthy vegetables straight from your own garden. Vegetables that save you money, taste better than anything from the store, and keep producing season after season. In this video, I'll share 10 vegetables you should always grow in your garden. And trust me, these aren't just good for your plate. They can change the way you eat and live. Stick around until the very end, because number 10 is a crop so powerful, it can literally feed your family for months. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about all things gardening, self-sufficiency, and healthy living. If you're passionate about growing your own food, or even just curious about starting a garden, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss weekly tips that can make your garden more productive and your harvests more rewarding. Today's list is ranked based on how easy these vegetables are to grow, how healthy they are for you, and how versatile they are in the kitchen. Let's get started. The easiest vegetables you'll ever grow. Practically grows itself. You can put a few seeds in the ground and within weeks you're cutting crisp, fresh leaves for your meals. Some gardeners even say it's harder to get rid of lettuce than to grow it, and I'd have to agree. Now, why should you grow lettuce? Apart from being the base of countless salads, lettuce is hydrating, made up of more than 90% water. It's light, refreshing, and packed with nutrients while staying extremely low in calories. That makes it a perfect food if you're trying to stay healthy without giving up flavor. And here's something you don't think about until it's missing. Lettuce is one of those maker foods. A sandwich just isn't the same without that crunchy layer of green, and tacos feel incomplete without shredded lettuce adding freshness to every bite. When it comes to growing tips, lettuce loves cooler weather, so it's best planted in spring and fall. The good news is it grows fast and you don't need much space. You can grow it in raised beds, garden soil, or even containers on a balcony. If you're tight on space, try cut and come again varieties. You harvest the leaves, and the plant keeps producing for weeks. And once it's ready, you can enjoy lettuce in salads, wraps, sandwiches, or even as a garnish. You can also mix it with other greens for a more diverse salad bowl. Fresh lettuce from the garden beats store-bought every time. So let me ask you, what's your favorite way to eat lettuce? Do you love a big, crunchy salad? Or are you more of an egg and lettuce sandwich fan? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to know. Coming in at number 2, we have carrots, one of the most popular and versatile vegetables on the planet. Carrots are fun to grow, loved by kids and adults alike, and they store surprisingly well. Plus, they've got that natural sweetness that makes them perfect both raw and cooked. Carrots are important because they're nutrient-dense. They're packed with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. Great for eye health. They also contain antioxidants which help protect your vision as you age. Add to that vitamin K, potassium, and fiber, and you've got a powerhouse vegetable that not only tastes good, but keeps your body in top shape. As for growing tips, carrots have a broad temperature range, which means they can grow in many climates almost all year round. They do best in loose, sandy soil without rocks, so the roots can grow long and straight. If you don't have deep soil, don't worry. There are shorter carrot varieties, like the French round carrots, that are perfect for small gardens or containers. Carrots take a little patience, usually a couple of months to mature, but once they're ready, you can harvest them over a long period for a steady supply. And let's talk about how to use them. Carrots are one of the most versatile vegetables in the kitchen. You can eat them raw as a crunchy snack, shred them into salads, roast them with herbs, cook them into soups and stews, or even use them in baking, like carrot cake. Carrots bring sweetness, color, and texture to just about any dish. Number 3 on our list is cabbage. And let me tell you, this one has been a staple food for centuries. From sauerkraut in Germany to kimchi in Korea, cabbage has fed entire civilizations. It's humble, it's hardy, and when grown right, it can give you massive yields from a small patch of soil. Why should you always grow cabbage? It's one of the most nutrient-packed vegetables you can eat. Cabbage is full of vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, and antioxidants that protect your body from disease. In fact, Studies have shown that people who eat cabbage regularly may have lower risks of heart disease and certain cancers. It's also low in calories but high in fiber, which means it fills you up without weighing you down. No wonder it's been called a peasant food, because it nourishes deeply while being affordable and easy to grow. Now, growing cabbage does take a little patience. Prefers cooler seasons, so plant it in early spring or fall. It likes rich soil and consistent watering. If you've ever struggled with cabbage worms or pests, here's a tip. Try covering your plants with fine mesh netting, or plant nasturtiums nearby to repel bugs. And if waiting for those big heads feels too long, grow many cabbage varieties. They mature quickly, don't take up much space, and one small head is often enough to feed an entire family meal. In the kitchen, cabbage is incredibly versatile. You can steam it, stir-fry it, roast it, or ferment it. Think of crunchy coleslaw on a summer's day, warm cabbage soup in winter, or homemade sauerkraut bubbling away in a jar. And here's the beauty. You can preserve cabbage for months through fermentation, turning a single harvest into food that lasts well into the next season. Coming in at number 4, we have beets or beetroot, depending on where you're from. Beets are one of those vegetables people either love or hate, but I'll say this. If you're not growing them, you're missing out on one of the most powerful crops you can add to your garden. Nutritionally, beets are a true superfood. They're rich in vitamins A, C, and B complex, and loaded with minerals like potassium, magnesium, and iron. But here's the kicker. Beets are one of the best natural sources of nitrates, which help improve blood flow and lower blood pressure. Athletes even drink beet juice before competitions to boost stamina. And the antioxidants in beets have been linked to anti-cancer properties. So yes, these little purple roots are much more than just salad toppers. When it comes to growing, beets are easy. They don't need much fuss. They're quick to germinate, don't take up a lot of space, and you can grow them in beds, pots, or even raised containers. They're also a dual-purpose crop. You get the roots, but don't forget the tops. Beet greens are delicious, sautéed like spinach, and just as nutritious. Plant them in succession every few weeks, and you'll have a steady supply all season long. And the uses? Endless. Roast them to bring out their natural sweetness. Pickle them for tangy jars of flavor. Blend them into smoothies for an energy boost. Or even bake them into cakes for natural color and moisture. A jar of homemade pickled beets on the shelf is like a little jewel you can enjoy all year round. So let me throw this question to you. Are you team roasted beets, pickled beets, or do you prefer sneaking them into juices and smoothies? Comment below and let's see which way wins. At number 5, we have onions, probably the most underrated but most essential vegetable in every kitchen. Onions are one of those ingredients that quietly make everything taste better. Whether you're cooking soups, sauces, stir-fries, or even a simple sandwich, onions bring depth and richness that you only notice when they're missing. Why grow onions? First, they're incredibly healthy. Onions are packed with antioxidants and compounds like quercetin that fight inflammation and boost your immune system. They've been studied for their ability to help regulate blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and even improve bone density. In fact, some studies suggest eating onions regularly can reduce the risk of certain cancers. Not bad for a vegetable that usually plays second fiddle in recipes. Now let's talk about growing onions. They're tough and adaptable, which makes them perfect for beginners. You can grow them in raised beds, garden rows, or even deep containers if you don't have much space. They like full sun and loose, well-drained soil. Depending on your climate, you can choose from short day, intermediate day, or long day varieties. And if space is limited, spring onions or scallions are a great alternative. They grow fast and can even be rooted in a glass of water on your windowsill. Imagine snipping fresh onions right from your kitchen counter. Another huge plus, onions store incredibly well. Harvest them, cure them properly, and you can keep them for months. That's food security right in your pantry. A basket of onions in the cupboard is like a little insurance policy for countless meals ahead. And of course, onions are culinary workhorses. They can be caramelized into a sweet golden jam, grilled into smoky rings, fried into crispy toppings, or eaten raw for a sharp kick. Without onions, a pasta sauce tastes flat, a curry feels incomplete, and a sausage sizzle is just sausage on bread. Next up, number 6, cucumbers. Cool, refreshing, and surprisingly versatile, cucumbers are one of the best crops to grow if you want consistent harvests all summer long. There's a reason people say cool as a cucumber. Bite into a fresh cucumber on a hot day and you instantly understand. It's crisp, juicy, and cooling in a way no other vegetable can match. Nutritionally, cucumbers are excellent. They're made up of about 96% water, making them incredibly hydrating. They're also low in calories, fat-free, and contain vitamin K, potassium, and antioxidants that support skin health, digestion, and hydration. Some people even use cucumber slices as natural skincare. If you've ever put them over your eyes, you know how soothing they feel. And here's something fun. Eating cucumbers regularly can actually help keep your digestive system moving smoothly thanks to their fiber content. When it comes to growing, cucumbers are rewarding and generous. They love warm weather, full sun, and rich soil. You can grow them as climbing vines along a trellis, saving ground space, or as bush varieties that fit neatly into containers. A single plant can produce dozens of cucumbers over the season. And here's a pro tip: pick cucumbers regularly. The more you harvest, the more the plant keeps producing. Ignore them for too long and you'll end up with oversized, seedy cucumbers that taste bitter. In the kitchen, cucumbers are endlessly useful. Eat them fresh in salads, slice them into sandwiches, or toss them into cold soups like gazpacho. And of course, one of the best ways to enjoy cucumbers is by pickling. Crunchy dill pickles, sweet bread and butter pickles, or even fermented cucumber pickles. These are staples that can last months in jars. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like opening a jar of homemade pickles in the middle of winter. It's like tasting summer all over again. So let me throw this question out to you. Are you a fan of cucumbers fresh and raw? Or do you prefer them pickled and tangy? Comment below and let's settle the debate. Fresh crunch versus pickle punch. At number 7, we have peas. Those little green jewels that pack a big punch. Peas are one of the most rewarding vegetables you can grow because they're quick, delicious, and almost everyone loves them. In fact, peas are one of the first vegetables kids usually enjoy, which makes them a great family garden crop. Nutritionally, peas are loaded with goodness. They're rich in vitamin K, vitamin C, and manganese, which all help with healing, bone health, and immune function. They also provide protein and fiber, making them surprisingly filling for such a small vegetable. And because they're low in calories but nutrient-dense, peas are often called a garden superfood. Growing peas couldn't be easier. They love cooler weather, so they're perfect for early spring or fall planting. You don't need a ton of space either. Peas grow beautifully on trellises, fences, or even along balcony railings. They're natural climbers, so give them something to hold on to, and they'll reward you with a cascade of pods. Another bonus is they enrich the soil by fixing nitrogen, so they actually help other plants grow better. And here's a tip: harvest peas regularly while the pods are tender. Leave them too long and they can get tough and starchy. In the kitchen, peas are incredibly versatile. Fresh off the vine, they're sweet and crisp, perfect for eating raw or tossing straight into salads. Cooked, they're wonderful in soups, stir-fries, risottos, and pasta dishes. And if you grow a bumper crop, don't worry. Peas freeze beautifully, locking in their fresh flavor for months. That's one way to taste your garden long after the season is over. Next on the list is beans. And let me tell you, beans are truly one of the most important foods in human history. They've fed civilizations for thousands of years, and for good reason. Beans are highly nutritious, easy to grow, and they store well, making them a survival crop as much as a garden favorite. From a health perspective, beans are outstanding. They're rich in protein, making them a great plant-based meat alternative. They're also packed with B vitamins, which help support brain and nerve function, as well as fiber that keeps your digestive system running smoothly. Beans also provide minerals like iron and magnesium, which are critical for energy and muscle function. Put simply, Beans are one of the few vegetables you could almost live on by themselves because they give you such a wide range of nutrients. Now growing beans is a joy. They come in so many varieties. Climbing pole beans, compact bush beans, colorful string beans, and even drying beans like kidney or black beans. Climbers love to run up poles, trellises, and fences, producing harvests that seem endless. Bush beans are neat and tidy, great for smaller spaces. Beans also improve your soil, just like peas, by fixing nitrogen. They're hardy plants, forgiving with soil types, and they don't need constant care. As long as they get sun and water, they'll reward you generously. And let's not forget how versatile they are in the kitchen. Fresh green beans are great steamed, stir-fried, or sautéed with garlic and butter. Shell beans like broad beans or favas have a rich, hearty flavor, perfect for stews. And drying beans can be preserved for years, which is why they've been a cornerstone food for generations. Just think about chili, baked beans, lentil stews. So many comfort foods start with beans. So what's your favorite way to eat beans? Are you a fan of fresh green beans? Or do you love hearty stews and slow-cooked dishes with dried beans? Share it in the comments. I'm curious to see which style comes out on top. At number 9, we've got tomatoes. And if I'm being honest, this is the vegetable, or should I say fruit, that I personally can't live without. Tomatoes are everywhere. From pizza sauce to pasta, from fresh salads to soups, they sneak their way into almost every cuisine in the world. And growing your own tomatoes, it's like opening the door to a whole new level of flavor. Once you've tasted a homegrown tomato, store-bought ones just don't compare. Nutritionally, tomatoes are powerhouses. They're packed with vitamin C, potassium, folate, and vitamin K. But their superstar nutrient is lycopene, the compound that gives them their deep red color. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant linked to reduced risks of cancer and heart disease. And here's the amazing part. Cooking tomatoes actually boosts the amount of available lycopene. So whether you're biting into a fresh cherry tomato or enjoying a rich, slow-simmered tomato sauce, your body is reaping serious health benefits. When it comes to growing, tomatoes are surprisingly versatile. If you've got lots of space, grow big heirloom varieties with deep flavor. If you're limited to a balcony or patio, cherry tomatoes in pots are perfect, and they'll reward you with dozens of little fruits week after week. Tomatoes love sun, well-drained soil, and regular watering. Give them a sturdy stake or cage for support, and they'll climb as high as you let them. A tip from experience: pick them when they're just turning ripe and let them finish indoors. That helps prevent pests and cracking. And in the kitchen, tomatoes might be the most versatile ingredient ever. Slice them fresh into solids, roast them until caramelized, simmer them into soups and sauces, or turn them into preserves like salsa or ketchup. Honestly, the list never ends. For me, nothing beats a thick slice of heirloom tomato on fresh bread with a sprinkle of salt. It's simple, but it's pure garden gold. So let me ask you, what's your favorite tomato variety? Are you a fan of sweet cherry tomatoes you can eat like candy? Or do you love big, juicy beefsteak tomatoes for sandwiches? Let me know in the comments, because tomato lovers are some of the most passionate gardeners out there. Finally, we've reached number 10, and it's the mighty potato. If there's one crop that has truly changed the course of human history, it's this one. Potatoes have fed nations, fueled economies, and even shaped entire cultures. And for the home gardener, potatoes are one of the most satisfying crops you'll ever dig up. Nutritionally, potatoes are far more impressive than many people realize. Yes, they're high in carbs, but these are complex carbs, the kind that give you long-lasting energy. They also contain fiber, vitamin B6 for brain health, potassium for muscle function, and vitamin C. In fact, a single medium potato has more potassium than a banana. Potatoes can keep you full, energized, and nourished, making them one of the most valuable crops on Earth. When it comes to growing, potatoes are almost magical. You don't need fancy seeds. Just a potato with a few eyes will do. Plant it in soil, cover it up, and a few months later, you dig up handfuls of fresh spuds. They thrive in garden beds, raised mounds, and even large containers or bags. The trick is to earth them up. Cover the growing stems with soil as they grow to encourage more tubers. And the yield? Incredible. From one potato you can get a whole bucket full. They store well, too, giving you food for months after harvest. And let's talk taste, because potatoes might just be the most versatile vegetable of all. Mashed, roasted, baked, fried, boiled, chipped. Every culture has its own beloved potato dish. They're comfort food at its best, and no matter how you cook them, they deliver satisfaction. Homemade fries from your own garden potatoes taste better than anything from a fast food chain. Trust me. So here's my final engagement question. If you had to eat only one potato dish for the rest of your life, what would it be? Mashed with butter? Crispy fries? Creamy potato soup? Drop your choice in the comments. Let's see which potato dish is the ultimate winner. Alright, let's do a quick recap of our list of 10 vegetables you should always grow in your garden. At number 1, we had lettuce. Fast, easy, and refreshing. Number 2, carrots. Sweet, versatile, and nutrient-packed. Number 3, cabbage. The ancient staple that's hearty and healing. Number 4, beets. The superfood root with edible greens. Number 5, onions. The flavor base of almost every dish. Number 6, cucumbers. Hydrating, crisp, and perfect for pickling. Number 7, peas. Sweet little powerhouses that enrich your soil. Number 8, beans. The protein-rich crop you can eat fresh or store for years. Number 9, tomatoes. The most versatile fruitable you'll ever grow. And finally, number 10, the mighty potato. The crop that can keep your family fed for months. Now, why are these always grow crops? Because they check all the boxes. They're productive, they're healthy, they're versatile in the kitchen, and most importantly, they're reliable. These vegetables aren't just good for your garden. They're the foundation of a healthier, more self-sufficient life. And here's a quick gardening tip. Practice companion planting. Certain vegetables love growing next to each other. For example, carrots and onions help repel each other's pests, while beans fix nitrogen in the soil, giving a boost to crops like tomatoes. Pair your vegetables wisely, and your garden will reward you with even bigger harvests. Now I'd love to hear from you. Out of these 10 vegetables, which 3 vegetables would you never skip in your garden? Drop your answer in the comments and let's compare notes as gardeners. And that wraps up our list of 10 vegetables you should always grow in your garden. These aren't just easy crops. They're the foundation of a thriving, self-sufficient lifestyle. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button and share it with your gardening friends. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more weekly gardening tips and ideas to make your garden more productive. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, self-sufficiency starts one seed at a time. I'll see you in the next video.